Hey there YouTube, AJ here, and today we're going to start working on the floors in my 1927 Model T Touring Hot Rod. Now I've actually already started working on the floors. I started roughing some stuff out, got a little carried away and said, oh, I should be recording this. But, you know, that's how it goes sometimes. So let me show you what I got going on so far. Okay, starting in the back here, even though it has nothing to do with what we're doing today, I've been up this U-channel, put in the strengthening holes, and this is going to replace this cross member here. As you can see, this one was much taller. The back half was completely rusted out of this, so it had to go. So this piece is going to go down here where the bottom of this was, and it is going to become part of our fuel tank mounting system, which I do not have figured out. All I can tell you is that the fuel tank is going to go in this area right here. The back of the fuel tank may stick out. I haven't decided yet, or it may just contour down. It really kind of depends on how many gallons I can get out of it. I'm just trying to get, I'd like to get 12 gallons, but I want at least 10. So that's the plan there. We're not going to mess with that today. I just wanted to show you that since it's there. So ignore that. Coming into the back floorboard compartment, this is where we're going to start. You can see this piece of U-channel that I've already bent up, and I've got it clamped in position against the bottom of the seat riser here. We're going to weld this into place. Today I will probably just do spot welds on the bottom flange, or just tack it every so often up here, and then just put seam sealer in here. So that's our first part. Then we got this transition piece that's going to come down off of here into this piece here. I could have made both of these in one piece, long piece this way, but because what I'm doing up front, I decided to carry this theme through for a couple of reasons. One is that it makes all these different compartments and smaller pieces of sheet metal. Yes, it's going to be more welding, but I also think in the end it will make all of this stronger, especially having this spine up the middle. And since all of these are going to get flanged, it'll give each of these pieces individually a lot more strength. And I still haven't decided if I'm going to put bead rolls in them or not, because really with the size they're going to be, and that I'm making them out of 18 gauge steel, they're going to have a flange around the edge. They're going to be pretty strong just like that. I might put in some bead rolls for decoration. I haven't decided yet. We'll see when we get there. Once I get these all fit in, maybe then I'll say, yeah, I want those in there, even though they're not going to be seen from the top side, because I'm going to put carpet in here eventually. But you know, if you look underneath, you'll be able to see the indents. I don't know. When we get there, we'll decide. Coming up front, the front section, gear shift obviously. This is what started the whole spine thing going down the middle of the car. Looking at how I wanted to do my toe boards, and I want to make this section removable. So instead of putting one big piece in across the whole top, cutting a hole here, I thought it would be better to do it in a center piece and two smaller pieces here. Again, adding all that strength back in it with the flanges and such. And you know, with this hat channel that I made up to go around this part of the gear shifter, I think that makes this whole center section a lot stronger. And then we'll have the individual pans on each side. Now I did add another U-channel cross brace here to strengthen the A-pillar area and give me a place to land this. This will eventually, you know, I'll put in nut certs in here, and this will be able to screw in and out. So we can remove this and these panels. This piece will be welded in. And then I also made up these little pieces here for corner braces. We're going to weld these in like that, and that'll strengthen the whole area as well. And then coming up here, I transitioned from the flange to a U-channel here because I really didn't want the flange all the way down and have this gap for stuff to get stuck on. I'll have it on this one, but hopefully it won't be too bad there. And then on back into another U channel here. So this will get welded in, this will get welded in, this and these angle braces will get welded in. This stuff will not be welded. This will be nut certed and removable panels. Back here, everything will get welded in, including the floor pans themselves. Over here, this section of floor pan will get welded in. That one will get welded in, but I will have to make access panels for my brake master cylinder. And then the big one is here, where under the passenger seat. I will have to I will make, this won't be an entire floor pan. I will have to make it and then cut out a section of it, because this is where my battery is going to have to mount. And so I'm going to make a little drop box, like not below the frame height, but it will only drop down to partway into the frame channel. That way it won't be able to see it from the outside. So let's go ahead and start tacking all the spine of the car into place. Okay, so everything's tacked in, some a little more than others, but you know, it is there. I have not really gone across the bottom of this yet. I will do that later when I can get better access to the bottom. For now, it's going to work where it's at. So this is all tacked in back here. The center section is all tacked in. Got our corner braces lightly tacked in. They're not really good, but they'll work for now. They'll hold. I'm more concerned about them being in there. Once I take the body off, I'll finish weld all that stuff in. We're ready to go ahead and start fitting our panels here. But in true me fashion, I got a head start on that before I started filming too. So let me show you what I've done so far. All right, what we got here are the 5 panels per side that I'm gonna need. This is that little kicker at the back where my Z and my frame is. This is the back seat floor pan. And under the passenger seat, front seat floor pan, toe board for the passenger side. So this is all the passenger side. Basically all I did was get a real rough rectangle size and measured that out, and just really quick with my shears zipped out those rectangle pieces. And I did go ahead and break these a little bit. They need fine tune. They're not perfect yet, but I need to do that after I actually trim these to fit into the openings. So our next step on this is to trim these to fit in the opening. And you can see I started roughing in that line too, where the subframe is. So I've done that on all the panels except for the driver's side's toe board, and that's because I need to cut a hole out in that for the steering column, the clutch pedal, and the, what's the other pedal? Brake pedal. So now I'm just going to go grab my shear and trim off these edges and see how close we can get these to dropping into the actual holes. Well, technically, I have floor pans, or just thrown in here, but they're here. Minus the one for the driver's toe board. Let's see what we can do about that one next. See if we can make something. I think I'm going to start by making a template for that one. It's going to be the only one I really make an actual template for. And that's just so I can try not to screw up the hole I'm planning on putting in the middle of it to go over the steering column and pedals. Okay, let's start by getting some stuff out of our way. First off, the steering wheel. And I'm sure I'm gonna need, yep. All right, let's stick the nut partially back on for now and go get the dead blow hammer so we can get this off. It's not tightened all the way down, it's just it's snug. Hopefully a few whacks of this and it'll pop. There it goes. All right. Okay, next we're going to take off our clutch and brake pedals, or I guess the pads. So we got a minimum amount of room to work with here. So our hole is going to need to be, and I think I don't have to make it as big as like from this point on the far right of the brake pedal to the far left of the clutch pedal, because I think if I make it like an oval that's big enough to go over this, I should be able to work it around. At least that's what I'm hoping. And this oval needs to be at least 2.5 top to bottom and 5 inches left to right. Now 5 inches left to right down here. What's that? Does that get me around both? That does get me around both of the whatever part pedal lever that you want to call it, whatever that is. If we come over to one side, 5 inches, but it's not enough. Even if I like bring it in all the way, the hole all the way to this edge, it still won't go over the far side. It looks like it needs to be at least 6. So I think we need to aim our hole to be like 3 by 6. That would need to be, looks like 3¼ inches down from the top of our panel. All right, and the center would be 7 3/8 from the right edge of the panel. So 3¼ down, 7 3/8 that way, and 3 by 6. Okay, let's go see about making a hole in this thing. I don't know if anybody noticed, but in there I said I was going to make a template, and then I immediately went to the metal and said, all right, it's kind of the way I work. Why make a template and do it twice? All right, so we want to come down 3¼ I guess it's somewhere in there, and then we want 7 3/8 over, and that should be pretty close to the center of our steering column, right there. Okay, now we want to make our hole 3 by 6. Unfortunately, I don't have a 3-inch hole saw. I only have a 3¼ so we're going to make it 3¼ by 6. 3¼ would be 1½ plus 1/8, so 1 5/8 over each way. So if I split that in half, yeah, I'm going to get 2 circles, 3¼ which means it's going to be 6½ all around. So if we do this, if we want it to be 6 inches wide, then we want to come in from the outside mark of that, the halfway distance of the hole saw, and the holes will overlap quite a bit. So 1 5/8, so that is my mark. 1 5/8, so that is my mark. All right. That should work. Hopefully my drill has enough power to drill 2 holes. Okay, let's go get some clamps because I don't want this thing whacking me. Okay, hopefully this won't come back to bite me, but we're going to take the other toe board that I already trimmed. We're just going to flip it, and we're going to mark it the same, and hopefully we'll have enough to still have our toe board in the right place. I'll cut it just a little longer. Hopefully it's close enough. Okay, the battery died, but I went ahead and cut off this edge, so hopefully it'll fit halfway decent. And I guess now's the time to see how I did on the estimation of this hole. So far so good. Now around the clutch pedal and through the brake pedal. We did pretty good so far. Just get this tack cable out of the way and see how it lines up. Hey, not too shabby. I'll take that as a win. Oop. All right. Pedals work. Now, what we'll do is we will go ahead and up here, we will flange this down and we'll make a couple of pieces to patch to fill this hole. But for now, this is just perfect. I think the last thing we're going to try to do for today, because I have to travel for work tomorrow and I still have to finish preparing for a presentation that I have never given and have even looked at really yet. So I have to go work. Even though it's Sunday, I have to go do work for my real job before I get on a plane tomorrow. So let's take this. We're going to hold this one into position. I'm going to put a mark. I think we're going to want to bend it there. We do need to trim a little more off of our side here. Oh, hang on. Things just weren't in the right position. Okay, now we're in the right position. All right, so now we want to bend this like right there. And then let me get this door open. I guess we'll just have to try to go as square as possible across here. I'm happy how this worked out. Then we got to trim from here down to there. Put a break across here. Before I do that, I'm going to mark the other side as well for the break. Alright, so both this sides need trimmed and we need a break in it. Alright, let's see if we did it better. Well, they're both really darn close now. And those are going to be the last ones I fit anyway. So I think I'm going to leave them for now. Because we're going to have to do our final mounting of this piece before, you know. Okay, I think this is where we're going to leave it for today. We got everything roughed in. Our supports are tacked in. Our spine that we created is tacked in. Our floor pans are already roughed in. This is the back. Up here in the front, you can see where my seat riser is going to go. This one will be where we go down and make a hole so we can mount our battery in there. But yeah, I'm just kind of seeing how things are going to lay out. Up front, same thing. We got our spine welded in. This piece, these three pieces up here are going to be removable. These will be welded, these will be welded, the back will be welded. So everything's roughed in, so we're in a good shape. I'm really happy with how I got the driver's side toe board with just the hole in the center for the pedals and the steering column. I think that's going to work really well. I like it a lot. Before we're all done, I have to make a panel to go around those components. So to seal it up, I need to make access holes for my master cylinder that's right down here under this cross member. And so yeah, I think for being rushed today, I think I got a lot done. I'm pretty happy with it. Got a spine in the car, got floor pans roughed in. Next time we'll be trimming them all to fit, putting flanges around them so they drop into place real nice, possibly putting some bead rolls in them for strength. I think I probably will, just if nothing else for looks. I don't know, we'll see. And I mean, they don't really need the strength, but you know, it'll look cool from the bottom if you have indented bead rolls. So I probably will end up doing that. But anyway, that's it for today. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed it or got ideas or whatever. I'm just appreciative people watch. I recently hit 1,000 subs, so I'm really happy about that. I will be doing a 1,000 sub giveaway, hopefully by the end of the year. If not, it might be into January before I actually get what I'm giving away made. So, and there'll be more than one prize, so you will need to be subscribed to do that. So if you're not subscribed, you may want to subscribe. I will have a skateboarding themed prize and a car themed prize, hot rod themed prize for the giveaway. Maybe more than one of each, I'm not sure yet. We'll see how that works out. Anyway, yeah, again, thanks for watching, and we'll be back on this again where we do the final fitting and flanges of these floor pans, and you know, make the car even more solid. Not the final welding, mind you, all that's going to come later. I'm going to do all the welding at once. I'm going to be so sick of welding. Until then, YouTube, later. Ooh, damn. I'm gonna kill myself.